Can you just introduce yourself, tell us your name and a little about yourself?
I am Tobon Precious, a native from Amasuma, Southern local government Bayelsa State.
What was your addiction and then how did it all begin?
It was a result of peer pressure at the age of 14, not knowing what to choose, what to decide as a teenager.
That is like peer pressure, out of peer pressure, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So what does addiction feels like?
The daily use of those drugs was what made me function. And without those drugs, I experienced withdrawal symptoms, things more like drug craving, low energy. I experienced loss of appetite, difficult sleeping.
What does it take before somebody becomes like a full-blown addict?
It started as an experimentation where young people would be like, let me just taste these drugs today and to know and see what it looks like. Just out of curiosity. They didn't go as far as using these drugs for certain occasion, to achieve expected result or feelings. But however, these feelings and result after a short time, and with time, the use of drugs, the feels and more use of drugs and the combination of other substances will be required for he or she to maintain that regular feeling they get from the drugs.
It begins like, let me try this thing out, and after tryouts you become an occasional user, and then from doing it occasionally, because that desire cannot be satisfied, they now become full addict. Okay, so how did you decide to seek help? At what point did you decide to seek help?
I go to church, I go to God for help, and as much as God has planned for a young professional like my parents had the plan also to take me to the rehabilitation center. Behind my back or without my notice, that's how it happened.
So what was your experience like at the rehab facility?
Reaching there, was a bit stunning, both legs shaking. I was even scared because I was away from home and my normal day-to-day life. But also, I had the unforgettable memories, extraordinary activities. I would always recommend somebody that is struggling with, drugs or substance to visit.
Definitely, anybody struggling with addiction should try and visit a rehab facility. So what surprised you about, that being in that rehab?
Meeting young professionals more like you and I, both male and female. Some even came from a very good background. And I was completely surprised based on the kind of story they told me and how drugs have ruined the balance of their life. It was really, really shocking.
So what mindset shift helped you during your recovery process?
And that's the drive of putting my back to my younger brother's face. You may not know him, but his name is Tobon God.
So were there people that helped you during your process of recovery? Can you just give credit to those persons?
I do appreciate my parents, siblings, friends, even the rehabilitation facility personnel also, that care and their endless care, support and encouragement. God bless them, and thanks for believing in me.
How many years have you really been free from this addiction?
I've been continually free from drugs, abstinent from drugs for 4 years.
Wow. Yeah. 4 years, no break and quench, straight up 4 years. Okay, so what mindset shift kept you that long? Because you said you've been free for 4 years.
That mindset shift that kept me long enough is knowing and seeing the benefit of recovery, continuing to stay abstinent from drugs.
What advice do you have for young professionals who are battling with addictions of any kind?
The secret of change is focusing your energy, thought, human resources to that which you always want to accomplish in life, and taking away your energy, thought, and human resources from that which you always want to avoid in life. Then you should not allow those bad habits to define or decide who they are, because those bad habits are not their true personality.
Yeah. How has life been after the care section?
More life is good. Your life has been good. I find the source saturated life. I know the heights I would have reached by now, but due to the use of substances and drug abuse that have ruined the balance of my life, I'm still healthy, I'm still grateful, and life at the other hand, have been kind of tough. Regards my environment, social media, things that I watch, but I've been able to conquer and still remain a victor till today.
Did you face stigmatization, and how did you deal with it?
I did face stigmatization. I even thought of fighting back and so on, but instead I started looking at things from a better perspective. I think that helped me. Prove yourself to them. You may be shocked by it, prove yourself to them, but that's just the truth, because there's some certain level in your life as a human being, you have to prove yourself, worthy of committing things into your hand, even in mother and son relationship, daughter and father relationship, even in mathematics, like generally. After all said and thought, you have to show working. You have to prove yourself to them. Continually, you have to just prove yourself.
Quickly before we wrap up, can you just say something about the founder of Change Minds Movement International and his organization?
Mr. Lucky Savior, the founder of Change My Movement International, is the most big-hearted, welcoming, kind person I've ever met, that will always defend those he really cares about. Moreover, his organization is about inspirational, motivational, and instructional key points that have pushed so many young people around to succeed in life. They even go as far as sharing scholarship opportunities, free and good health care sponsorship. Meeting them is the dream of so many, both struggling and less privileged. Guys, share, like, subscribe, and one more last inspirational word from me is that once a goal is being set or a task is being set, never skip a day to avoid the massive cost of inconsistency. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much for having you around. We truly appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Have a nice day, sir.
Okay.
Pick out the highlight from this interview. Pick out the motivation and inspiration. Derive knowledge from it. So make sure you are part of Change Minds Movement International, where we'll be sharing opportunities, doing interviews like Change Minds Movement International.
Rise up, young dreamer.